Hey there, happy Wednesday. As we make our way over the hump of the week, we're talking about some updates in the forecast, and it has to do with our seasonal friend, Saharan dust. Friend or fro, this could be bringing some allergies and perhaps drier weather to our forecast.
I'm Jacob Daniels, and Port Aransas is seeing more visitors than ever, but a shooting on the beach during the 4th of July weekend has me wondering how Port Aransas is handling their busiest season and keeping their residents safe.
Thank you for joining us on Chris 6 News. I'm Clara Benitez Cortez. Here's what we've been following across the coastal bend.
Corpus Christi is trying to create drought-proof water projects for now and for the future. But that comes with a price tag. I'm Drew Bishop, and just like the cost for groceries and gas, your water rates are about to go up.
A whole lot changed from last year to this year because we brought on so many water projects.
A years-long drought isn't cheap, and that was clear on Wednesday, as City Council held its first workshop to review wastewater and water increases as a part of its 2027 fiscal year budget. After the city presented its water rate increase structure, I did the math, but Councilmember Gil Hernandez helped me check my work.
Residential, the increase was 5.9%, commercial was 6.7%, large volume was 4.7%.
Everyone, from families to businesses, and yes, industry, will see increases.
I'm your neighborhood news reporter, Jacob Daniels, and Port Aransas is booming. Record crowds and a local economy riding high. But as more people find their way to the island, some locals say they're worried about what that growth may cost. Summer for Port Aransas means larger crowds and more challenges for the small island community. I caught up with James Revel, who has watched Port Aransas change over the years. Revel grew up here, and he's worked for a local business for more than 2 decades.
It used to be, when I was in high school, it was like a ghost town from September to April.
The area has shifted from seasonal to nearly year-round tourism, which means more business, but also more problems. Scott Tanzier, who's been running a golf cart rental business for 17 years, sees the problem.
There's no more downtime anymore. So back in the day, if you really found some old Port A people that tell you, hey, when Labor Day happened, we were closed until spring break.
The growth means more revenue, but has brought other trouble. On July 4th, an 18-year-old was shot during a beach gathering, which came after a March shooting that left 5 people injured. Revel says he's noticed.
There's evidently been a lot more issues on the beach these last couple of years. A couple of shootings, some bad car accidents, and things like that.
Port Aransas Mayor Wendy Moore says the city has stepped up enforcement during major holidays, but she doesn't see a broader pattern.
I would like to think that it's not really a pattern, but I do think that it is a phenomenon that seems to be happening across the country. There's a lot of very popular destinations that people go to, and sometimes people's behavior is not what that community wants. And
with the increase in traffic and crowds, she says the city isn't standing still.
We decided that during major holidays, we were going to kind of step up the enforcement so that we can ensure that all visitors and residents have a really safe, wonderful time visiting in Port Aransas. So yes, we do ask, and we get great support from area law enforcement.
For now, Port Aransas will continue to keep growing, and for the people that live here, they're starting to learn to live with what comes along with it. Reporting in Port Aransas, I'm Jacob Daniels, Chris 6 News.
I'm Stephanie Molina in Odom, where I'm following up after Tuesday's City Council meeting to hear what residents think about the latest updates on animal control and the possibility of bringing back its own police. Odom city leaders discussed the possibility of bringing back the city's police department and a renewal of an agreement with San Patricio County for limited animal control services. I wanted to hear what residents thought. I came to Small Town Brew. I met Melinda Benavides, who works in Odom and previously had her daughter in Odom Edroy ISD. She says stray dogs have been a concern for years, especially around the schools. She's encouraged the city is continuing to address animal control, but wants to see the city take a larger role instead of relying only on the county. She also says she'd like to see a larger police presence return one day, but believes city leaders first need to find a solution that balances the budget with the community's needs.
Come to an agreement that works well for the budget and the needs of the community.
Hey there, I'm Chief Meteorologist Stephanie Lauber showing you what's been our most popular Weather Watcher photo of the day. This was taken by our friend Edward Bill. He tends to take just videos all around the bayfront and downtown, but he caught this really cool snap of what we're calling a Cumulosaurus rex. It looks like a T-Rex of the clouds here, but I also want to point out this was taken very early this morning, and this is a towering cumulus. This is a sign that we've got some fuel. This is out over the water, of course, so we've got the moisture that gets these storms up and going, but look, it's having some trouble. This right here is the cloud evaporating out, some drier air just above our heads here, and that's where this change in the forecast comes in. Saharan dust actually proving to be a bit thicker in our forecast than we'd expect. So this is something that's hindering our rain chances, but there are other things in the upper level of the atmosphere that will be helping our rain chances. But I think our window of opportunity we've been eyeing for the weekend is going to shrink because of the presence of the Saharan dust. We'll talk more about how that'll impact the rain chances ahead.
The city of Corpus Christi is encouraging pet adoptions. The city's Animal Care Services is waiving all pet adoption fees through July 26 as part of Bizzle Pet Foundation's nationwide Empty the Shelters. The foundation is sponsoring adoption fees. If you're interested in adopting a pet, you can visit Animal Care Services shelter Monday through Saturday from noon until 4:30. A South Texas judge is off the bench without pay after a felony drug charge. The State Commission on Judicial Conduct suspended Claiborne County Justice of the Peace Brandon Way Barrera. Police arrested Barrera in Kingsville in January. Investigators say he had at least 1 gram of methamphetamine. A grand jury indicted him last month. Barrera announced on Facebook in May that he completed rehab. His suspension will last until his case is dismissed or he is acquitted. The city manager says our coverage of a huge water leak that happened on July 2nd put the spotlight on a problem that's costing the city a lot. As we reported, a contractor for AT&T was installing a utility pole on Robert near Alameda when the crew drilled through a 12-inch water main. That happened last Thursday of last week, but the leak wasn't fixed until the following morning. City manager Peter Zanoni said incidents like these cost the city in lost water, repairs, and overtime. He told council members at Tuesday's workshop that the city currently doesn't have a good system to make sure they are reimbursed by contractors in incidents like last week's.
Our residents need to know that issues like the one that happened on Alameda and Roberts are unacceptable, and our ratepayers should not be paying for those fixes. It needs to be the companies or their subcontractors that cause the damage. So Chris Six did report on that, but just to have it here so the council and the community knows that we're developing a better process to make sure we get those monies.
Moving forward, the city will implement a monthly process where the city reviews what damage was caused by contractors, what the estimated repair costs are, and when the city gets paid.
Denmark's prime minister is again rejecting President Trump's demand to take control of Greenland. Trump renewed his demands on the eve of a NATO summit in Turkey. But Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen says the island is not for sale and says all its allies should respect its sovereignty.
The U.S. position is unfortunately very clear on this topic, and our position is as clear as it has been all through. Greenland is of course not for sale. We hope that all including all allies, will respect the Greenlandic people's right for self-determination.
Frederiksen says Denmark is ready to defend every inch of its territory.
Watching Chris Six, a part of the Scripps News Group.
A train accident in Rialitos sent 2 train engineers to an area hospital this morning. A DPS spokesman says just before 11 this morning, an 18-wheeler hauling a bulldozer got stuck at the railroad crossing. A train hit the trailer and the bulldozer, causing 6 rail cars to derail. Now, those cars were all empty. The driver of the truck wasn't hurt. He was out of the truck when the train hit it. Rialitos is about halfway between Heronville and Benavides. President Donald Trump is floating Texas Senator Ted Cruz as a potential Supreme Court nominee. Trump calls Cruz a brilliant lawyer. He believes Cruz could easily win Senate confirmation. Trump joked that Democrats would vote for Cruz just to get him out of the Senate. Right now, there are no open seats on the nation's highest court. NPR recently published and retracted a story about Justice Samuel Alito stepping down. Cruz remains in the Senate for now.
A federal judge in Montana has ordered the release of a 20-year-old man arrested by ICE during an operation last week. David Cortez Torres was taken into custody during the enforcement operation and then later transferred to a detention facility. Court filings say he does not have a criminal record and is the primary caregiver for his grandmother. According to a petition filed on his behalf, Cortes Torres and 17 others were held for more than 24 hours at the airport before being transported. The filing also states he did not have access to an attorney during that time. A federal judge ordered that Cortes Torres be released while the case continues.
Former Florida gubernatorial candidate Andrew Gillum facing new legal trouble. Authorities in Alabama say Gillum was arrested last week on drug-related charges. He's since been released. Now, the former Tallahassee mayor narrowly lost Florida's 2018 gubernatorial race to Ron DeSantis. He was previously arrested in 2020 after police say they found him inebriated at a Miami Beach hotel. And in 2023, he was at the center of a federal corruption case involving the illegal use of campaign funds. He was acquitted of lying to the FBI.
Stacking coupons, the way Mom used to do, is not a thing of the past just yet. Sure, a lot of those coupons are digital now, but some stores, like Kohl's, still allow you to stack deals, which can mean some really big savings.
Carrie Edwards makes a sport out of finding deals at Kohl's.
It's on sale today, 40% off.
First, she hunts for markdowns, then stacks Kohl's Cash and extra coupons to pile on the savings.
And then they'll send you emails when something special's going on.
We have 40% off our Grand Slam, so these are some golf polos.
Kohl's store manager Cooper Osborne says start by joining Kohl's Rewards, which earns 5% back on store purchases.
Every time you're a rewards member, you do get additional coupons.
Then build up Kohl's Cash.
You can earn Kohl's Cash for a future purchase.
Savvy shoppers stack store markdowns, Kohl's Rewards discounts, Kohl's Cash, and paper or digital coupons. That can mean 4 discounts in one transaction.
So you can use all that stuff together and you're going to get as much savings as you possibly can.
Stacking works at Target, too. Target accepts a manufacturer coupon with a Target store offer. Then shoppers can save another 5% with a Target Circle card. At CVS, shoppers can use a manufacturer and CVS coupon on the same item, or stack 2 coupons for $3 off 15 on purchases of $30 or more. Stephanie Carls with Retail Me Not says the key to coupon stacking is knowing each store's rules. Some retailers like Walmart have a strict 1 coupon per item policy.
Once you know which discounts can work together, then you stop leaving those easy combinations behind.
Edwards got these sunglasses for next to nothing.
My sunglasses were $22 and I paid $8 for them.
So stack those deals so you don't waste your money. John Mattery, Scripps News Group.
Have you ever paid extra for a window seat only to get a wall? Well, United Airlines must now face a lawsuit from passengers who say they paid premium prices for seats that had no actual window. A federal judge rejected United's argument that a window seat only refers to the seat's location, not a guaranteed outside view. The lawsuit claims some customers were not told certain seats sit next to blank walls instead of windows. United says it has updated its booking system with more seat details for travelers. Have you ever wondered why it's so hard to put something back on the shelf once you've picked it up, touched it, looked at it? Well, it turns out your brain might actually think it's yours. According to research published in the Journal of Consumer Research, simply touching a product can create a powerful sense of ownership even before you buy it. Studies found shoppers who handle an item often value it more, and they're willing to pay more for it. Experts say it's one reason retailers constantly encourage customers to pick up, test, try products out, because once something feels like yours, walking away becomes a whole lot harder. Well, the white picket fence, the starter home, the American dream for a growing number of Americans, all three may be slipping further out of reach. According to a FICO homeownership survey, nearly 2/3 of Americans who don't own a home say home ownership feels completely out of reach. Blame rising home prices and stubbornly high interest rates. Those are just a few of the reasons people say that they can't afford a home. The survey also found about 3/4 of prospective buyers say financial obstacles have prevented them from purchasing a home this year. Now, despite the challenges, Americans still overwhelmingly associate homeownership with independence and financial stability.
Hey there, I'm Chief Meteorologist Stephanie Lauber. We've had some updates to our rainfall forecast as we head on into the weekend, where things are looking less rainy for us for the first half of our Thursday. And then as we go into Friday, especially Friday night, that is going to be the focal point of our rainfall. We've shrunk our opportunity for rain heading into the weekend, but looks like next week could be more productive for us too. It's a couple days out, so we'll keep an eye on it, but a lot of different things changing in the forecast. Here's what you can expect for the rest of tonight heading into your Thursday. So while the last of the afternoon showers move out to the I-35 corridor and fizzle out, we'll be expecting those temperatures to stay warm, stay muggy. By midnight, most of us still on the plus side of the 80s before dropping into those upper 70s. And starting things out for Thursday morning, not a whole lot of clouds, but guess what? We don't get a whole lot of that sea breeze either. There will be a few evening showers for our southern neighborhoods, but Friday, yes, I do think the sea breeze comes back in a big way, and Friday night could be our wettest of the next 5 days. I'll give you a 7-day forecast next.
It's time to get out the lucky rabbit's foot or look for a 4-leaf clover. The reason? Another big jackpot is up for grabs. We're talking about the Mega Millions drawing for Friday night. The jackpot for that drawing is a cool $604 million. But there's one very important thing you have to do first.
And if you don't play, you don't win. You know, like buying popcorn, 6-pack of beer, same thing. You got to spend your money somewhere. And it's not just for me, it's for my wife, the grandkids, the family.
If you do win Friday night's jackpot, you won't actually win the entire $604 million after taxes if you choose the lump sum cash option, or your actual take home will be about $168 million. Now, that's not too bad.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Stephanie Lauber with one more look at your 7-day forecast. We are still expecting the afternoon to bring us a sea breeze. It's just going to be a drier one for most neighborhoods on Thursday. Temperatures will be warm, 93 degrees. With the presence of that Saharan dust, we'll probably have those milky skies during the afternoon and spectacular sunrises and sunsets. You might also notice some allergies, so if you're somebody who has respiratory illnesses, you know what to do. Try to limit your time outdoors. The heat will probably help with that. But on Friday, I do think the sea breeze will be more productive and bring more showers, and that is especially the case as we go from Friday night into early Saturday morning. Notice temperatures still going to be cool. We're expecting rainfall on Saturday, not a washout, but something you'll have to plan around. But we're no longer expecting rainfall on Saturday because that Saharan dust, the way it is going to be maneuvering around the western Gulf Coast, will help to hinder rain chances for the tail end of the weekend. Starting next week, though, rain chances pick back up as high pressure builds in over the Central Plains, making those temperatures hot.
That's going to wrap it for us right now. Thank you so much for watching KRIS 6 News. Have a great night.